like is, oh, sorry, let me start again. Yeah, man, it's interesting, like as we talked about some of these seminal moments in your journey where God sort of marked you with different identities and different really almost recovering who he made you together and how he knit you together in your mother's womb and these really beautiful moments. And I think what's important to note too is that, you said like it takes years to start working some of this out, 10 years sitting under this sonship of like, and I would imagine there's all these moments that would contend with that and try to take you back to that old identity or that old mask that you were living under. And those are these beautiful moments when the voice of shame, the voice of fear, like all that, like, and I think I've heard Jamie and Donna talk about this, like negative emotions or uncomfortable emotions. I think they register like on the dashboard, and it's really cool to hear them talk about that because they're like, yeah, those are just little indicator lights where God's like, hey, like what's going on in your heart here? I'm noticing
Yeah.
fear welling up. Um, can we talk about that? And it's really that is it Isaiah 61 where it talks about him coming to heal the brokenhearted, right? Where and how much Jesus cares about like what's coming up in the midst of life, right? And so I actually have something going on in my life that I'd love to just share and see
Yeah,
if you might hold a space to kind of get curious with me
I'd
and
love to. Yeah.
yeah, so my wife's name is Diana, and she loves kids. She's like a seer. Like she's the one at a party who will see the wallflower that's not connecting or talking and be the
Yeah.
one that like, she's that kind of person that and actually finds it to be a great challenge of like, how do I crack this person? How do I
Yeah.
right? So she's always been a seer of like people and so recently, and we also have friends and brother-in-laws. Her brother has 12 kids, and four of them are adopted. And so we have quite a few friends that have gone into this foster care world. And so we've been observing it from the sidelines quite a
Yeah.
bit. And recently, our kids, we have three daughters from 15 to 12 to 8. And so, they're getting to that point where they're out of the really needy stage in their younger years. And,
Yeah.
and, we've just been like gifted this home we live in. And like, there's all this like blessing and like beauty in our home. And she's like, I think we need to look at fostering, and at first I'm like a little skeptical, like, is this a should for you? Like the Bible says, like, look after the widows and orphans. Like, is
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
this a should, Because I don't want to do shoulds, I want it to
Yeah.
like if we're gonna go on this adventure, I want it to be like actually coming from the heart. And so we've been kind of heart checking that a bit and
Mm.
it seems not to be a should. It seems to be like something that's like, let's do this. So, over the past 3 or 4 months, we've signed up, we've gone to the classes, we've gone to the county and sat through all the trauma awareness classes and all the things. And I've just been like, okay, cool. Like I'll go to the class and I'm coming along. And then finally we get approved. And and now this last week they've been calling with like all these possibilities for placements. And we've set a few boundaries where, we'd like to take kids that are younger than our youngest kids so it doesn't disrupt the birth order. And like there's some couple of just pieces of wisdom people have told
Yeah.
us. And some people do that and some people don't. But those were some of the boundaries we had set up. And of course you get calls that are outside the boundaries a bit. And
Mhm.
you're like, it's a sibling set. One of them's younger than your youngest and the other is right in the middle of, just the same age as your middle child. And I think we're being tasked with this desire to, or this moment where we've like
Mm.
got to think about these kids, and they've told us the whole goal is that we're team reunification. So that's what the foster care system's all about. It's about helping reunify the original
Mm.
core family. But we have seen like a lot of our friends, 40 or 50% of the kids that they've gotten, they've become theirs. And so, it's sort
Mm.
of like this could be our kid forever. There's like a 40% chance that that could be the thing
Yeah.
if we
Mm.
say yes to that. And so, you start playing this whole thing out into this future that who knows what you're
Yeah.
making up about it. But all that to say is I'm noticing personally just a lot of fear, especially when we get calls around like we just got a call yesterday, and it was like 6-year-old boy, and he probably has autism. He's nonverbal. Like he like kind of like some pretty heavy things, and that it's really disrupting like my picture of what our home is and the perfect home that we have and the perfect girls we have, and um I just find that I'm coming to this. I kind of go quiet in those spaces when my mom when Deanna's telling me the call she had with the social worker, and I just am going internal, and I'm trying to find ways to say no, and yet there's a life on the other side of this sitting at Orangewood, and it just like these, it's like a really hard thing to hold. And um so anyway, yeah, I just see fear like all over that situation. So anyway, that's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I learned from Donna is there's zero things that I could actually tell you in this that would be helpful because you don't need to hear from me.
yeah.
Really, you don't need to hear from me. And so, um, yeah, just close your eyes and let's actually just connect with Jesus. Let's connect with him. And so,
Mhm.
Lord, would you, as we take a deep breath, just quiet our nervous system, calm
Mhm.
our breathing. Yeah, join our hearts to your heart and our minds to your mind. I don't need to ask you to be with us right now. You are already with us. But would you cause the deep places of us to just become aware, not just aware of your presence, but your love for us as well. And yeah, Jesus, would you actually just take Seth to a place just to connect with him, the two of you? I think of, you connecting with Moses in a valley. You connected with Abraham sitting under a shade tree and sharing a meal with him. David beside still waters and green pastures. And just show Seth, where do you want to take and connect with him today in his heart space, in the spirit? And Seth, as that comes to mind, just kind of describe where
Mm.
the space he's taking you.
Yeah, the place that really came to mind was it's just right outside our back fence. There's this little canyon, and there's these Torrey pine trees with like a carpet of ice plant underneath them and pine needles, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of this like little slice of little slice of heaven just beyond our back fence. And so yeah, we're sitting there under the trees,
Yeah.
kind of overlooking this little canyon.
Yeah, I like how you said that little slice of heaven. I don't think that's inaccurate for sure.
Mhm.
So just be there, like
Mhm.
in first person. Let your whole self be there and
Mhm.
look around that space with your spirit eyes. And
Mhm.
even what do you hear? What are the sounds in that place? Let those
Mhm.
come to you. And
Yeah. Yeah, I hear the sea breeze, the beach is a couple miles away, so there's a little breeze coming up the canyon, and the rustling of the leaves. Yeah, and for some reason, even when I started thinking that, I just found myself really aware of the house behind us, like which is our house. Like just my back is to it, and I'm looking out over the canyon, but I'm like just aware that that's there. And even just that this is this like Eden, like it's insane that our backyard it comes to this canyon, and there's wildflowers, and it's not like this vast big place, but it's just enough of a slice in urban Costa Mesa that like you're like, wow, I didn't know this little canyon existed. And it's a really special spot, and it has these like Eden like qualities where you're having people over and kids are playing out in the canyon, and it's this just this like really beautiful, gorgeous, like I can't believe we get to live here kind of thing. And so anyway, I'm just taking it in with Jesus and kind of going like, wow, this is this little piece of the kingdom that we get to live in and steward and
yeah.
be part of. And so yeah.
And you said it with Jesus. So where is he there with you?
Yeah, we're both just sitting down, kind of with our legs crossed and our arms kind of resting, like,
Mm.
hunched together and kind of like toward each other. So we're just, I'm just in my normal clothes. He's in his normal, jeans and a flannel, kind of like just normal clothes, and we're just sort of sitting there under the trees together.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jesus, what do you want Seth to notice about you? What do you want him to see in your face, even communicating to him?
Mm. Oh man, well, I think what I see is just like he's like almost teary, like welling in his eyes of just just how beautiful the
Mm.
space is and how beautiful the slice of heaven is in that moment, like just how gorgeous it is.
Yeah. And as you look at Seth, Jesus, just what do you want him to know about your heart for him, your love for him today?
Mm, mm, it's something to the effect of I don't want to say like it feels too big, but just this is almost like I've given you this little domain and I'm calling you like king over it. Like I'm giving you this like I my love for you is like steward, it's king, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's also beautiful.
Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. And what, as you've given this to Seth, to Stuart, and that's right, that's actually very biblical what you just said. And that's right in line with who he's made us all to be. He's given us domain under him to steward. The Lord, would you show Seth also just what there's this fear that's coming up around
Mm,
this space, this domain, this fostering is feeling like it's shattering the serenity and the peace of this domain. And would you just name for Seth, like, what's the fear in all of this?
mm, mm. Hmm. Maybe it's just that like it's not going to be, it won't be beautiful anymore. Like it'll
Mm.
be like what I've come to know and enjoy. It won't it'll get broken or it won't be beautiful anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like the word entitled comes up to, I feel like that's something that's been that may be like the shame or the voice of shame or whatever, but just this like
Yeah.
almost like I'm entitled to this space. Like I'm and like if this rogue kid comes into our world, like it's gonna really disrupt like
Yeah.
even my version of the beauty, my version of the the Edenic like quality of this space. Like this has like been crafted and thought about by me and like I treasure it in a lot of ways. And so this was just gonna kind of wreck it or kind of like, yeah, it's not gonna be the way I envisioned it or want to hold it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that word, um, entitled, and I think you even rightly said, just, I don't, that's an accusation almost.
Hmm.
And so, Jesus, what do you want Seth to know around that and about that?
Hmm. Hmm. It's kind of going back to us sitting there together looking at him like, hmm. I think what he's saying is just like it it's like the entitlement is like my version of the beauty or my version of the
Mm, mm,
like um it's almost like a robber of beauty, like because I it's like my version of it and I'm kind of holding tightly to it, you know?
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So would you just give Seth your eyes to see this space and this situation? And what do you want him to know? What do you want? What's true?
Hmm. And there's a part of what I feel like he's saying is like this is my space, this is my the beauty I've created, like almost like taking ownership back of it. And it kind of came across as like this a little affronting, a little like kind of like not combative, but just, kind of like almost like you're ripping something out of someone's fingers, and you're like, give it back, like so
Mhm, mhm.
and I'm kind of reluctant to because I'm just like, no, I know, that sort of like entitled pride, kind of like I don't it I think it honestly might be like I don't trust your version of it, like
Yes.
I'm pretty good. I can design things pretty beautifully myself. Don't F with it kind of thing, like
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so what is that barrier just of trust? What's Seth believing about you that's keeping his heart just like, I don't know if I can trust your version of this, God, which
mm,
man, we all do. Yeah.
mm,
What's he believing? What's the enemy accusing you of in this, God?
mm, mm. Um, I think it's really tapping like that when you just said like what's the enemy accusing Jesus of or like the good father of in it. It's like um it's kind of like I don't trust that he can like I don't trust that he can walk with me in the like those the like I'm learning how to trust him a lot more, but in the micro moments of like this kid is nonverbal and I'm bored right now with this situation and like I have all these things I want to go do to please myself and fulfill my own life and yet like I don't know what to do with the constraints of this what I've been given life is throwing at me so to speak and I don't trust that you can walk with me in those like really micro moments when I want to be entitled I want my thing
Yeah.
and like yeah I don't trust that you can meet me there.
Mm, yeah, because and kind of fill in this blank because you are what? God, you are, and again,
Yeah because you are um hmm because you don't care about those micro moments when I'm freaking
mm,
out, or you don't care about like you don't care like about my happiness, maybe. Like I have to manufacture my happiness.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, 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 and Lord, what's the source of that? Just
Hmm.
you don't care about these micro moments, these little things, and
Hmm.
if I don't do happiness, manage it myself, then
Hmm.
you won't. Where's that
Right.
coming from?
Yeah, I mean, immediately I thought of just like my childhood and how I feel like I was left alone frequently in those micro moments, and with pretty immature, emotionally immature parents that weren't couldn't couldn't like pull that out of me or couldn't see that I might be struggling with something. So there was a lot of like internal I'm alone in those moments.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Jesus, would you take Seth to just one of those key moments of I'm alone. I am alone. I have to figure this out. And
Mm, yeah. I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is like, my mom was a flight attendant and she would leave probably 1 or 2 weekends a month. And I know she always feels a lot of guilt over having to have left as a mom and, leaving her kids for the weekends, but she would do it on the weekends, and all the thing. And but there was times where I was afraid as a kid in my room in my bed, and I'd be crying because I was afraid she wouldn't come back. The plane would crash or whatever. And but there's like those little moments like that, or like like even just little moments, man, where you're in first grade or something like that, and it's the recess bell rings, and instead of just running out there like light and free, you're kind of running out with a little trepidation, like where am I going to go? Do I have friends out here? Am I wanted? Like that lack of confidence, So I think it's like just all these little micro moments where I'm the one by myself, like having to contend with the feelings that are coming at me.
yeah, yeah, it's all up to me. I got to figure this out. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hmm. And what is the main sort of dominant negative emotion you feel around those memories that come up?
Yeah. Anxiety.
Hmm.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Like
Hmm.
anxiety has been my trailer for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so underneath that, just anxiousness of alone, and what are the other messages attached to that? Holy Spirit, would you show Seth just what are the
Mm.
lies all around?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going back to that like first grade recess bell ring moment. And it's like, you walk out of the classroom door and it's like all the lies that are hitting me is like, yeah, you're alone, you're not enough, like you don't have what it takes to break into the playground moment. You must conform, similar to your story, like what people's opinions of you matter because those are make it easier to enter, like if you got good opinions, like yeah, that's
Mm.
all. It's like comes with it.
Yeah. And those lies, what are they stealing? What have they always stolen from Seth?
Mm,
Robbed him of.
strength, strength,
Mm.
like my strength and confidence, I think.
Mm.
Like I just imagine like stepping out of that classroom and just being like, I'm strong. I'm I'm confident. Like I've got what it takes, right? Like
Self-talk. Yeah. Positive self-talk, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just find Jesus. Like, he's there and he was there in that moment with you. And
Mm,
so, Jesus, where are you with Seth? Just show him his younger self,
mm,
first grade self.
yeah. Yeah, I'm picturing like, you walk out the door and there's that little bit of like even the traumatic eye movement of like scanning the scene, like, well, how will this work out? And then like I just imagine looking to the left and just seeing Jesus there, like um he always shows up with like such a big like smile, just kind of like, hey, it's me. Like like
Yeah.
I've always been here, like, but you always your gaze never catches my eye. Like
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
and but it's not only that, but it's also like, yo, like there's my boy, like there's my Seth, so it's not it's also like you caught my eye, like stoked, and then second, like um I mean, I'm just thinking about Deanna, the story I told you about her being a seer and seeing people. It's kind of like being seen,
Mhm.
that's what the way I'm seeing him is he's like, I see you and you see me, and like, dang, it's good to see you.
Mm.
He's kind of like arms open, like, yo,
Yeah.
hey, like kind of like
Yeah.
beckoning me toward him.
Yeah. And that little first grader, like when he sees Jesus like that, what does he want to do? What's his response to that? Welcome.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's just like a running towards him, like running into his arms, and just like a like it like shatters that whole like will I have friends, will I be accepted, will I like all that just gets erased, because he's like I'm right
Mhm.
here. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And let your heart feel that. Your first grade heart, your adult heart, just every
Mm,
part of you, like as
mm,
you jump into his arms or whatever you're seeing there,
mm,
feeling his embrace. And Jesus, what do you want Seth to experience of your love in this moment?
mm,
What do you want him to know?
mm. Yeah, it's just that he's always there. Like he's like I'm always there. Like
Mm,
I've never left you, never forsaken you, never forgotten you. I've
mm,
never been like almost like I want you to know that like that moment that you have when you walk out of the classroom and your brain is in that fight or flight kind of scared mode. Like I know exactly what's going on there, and you can't see me because you're looking out at the playground, but like I'm I'm
yeah.
coming down the hall and I see you like in that moment. Um,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
And almost like um, let that moment of panic be that almost a bounce. Like let it be the impetus for turning and seeing me. I'm here. I'm here.
Mm,
When
mm,
you feel that, let it be immediate. Like, oh, I need to find him. I need to
mm,
find him.
mm. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Like, mm. It's insane. Like we're talking about that connected worldview of like, if that's true, then he's always there. We're always connected. Like, just where is he? Like,
Yeah.
how do I
Yeah.
see him? Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, Jesus, what would you invite Seth from of all the lies and those feelings that he's describing? What do you want him to give to you
Mm.
in exchange? What do you want him to give to you and hand over to you? And you don't need it anymore. The lie of alone, you're not alone. But what else?
Mm.
What else do you want him to give to you today?
Mm. I think he wants me to give him the franticness, like in that moment,
Hmm.
like the scurrying, anxious franticness, of like, oh, um, like give that to him. Yeah, like the alone part that you said is like that's a total lie. Like he wants me to give him that.
Hmm.
Hmm. Just going back to that scene in the canyon, like what else does he want me to give him in that moment? Like, okay, yeah, like it. So remember I was talking about like my version of happiness, my entitlement, like it's basically like my script of the story or my vision essentially, like of happiness or of contentedness or Eden, and I just feel like he's like, I want you to give me that, and it's hard because I've been very curious about the desires God has put in my heart and how those are good things and all that, and creating vision from that place is good. Like we've redeemed the heart in the sense, the desires in the heart, but yeah, like it's almost like I want to teach you, will you, instead of just running with it and calling it your life, like, can you give that to me and can
Hmm.
we look at it together, can you,
Yeah.
um, can we do it
Yeah.
together kind of a thing,
Yeah.
which is the same moment on the playground where it's like, I've got my version of how this recess is going to go, and the feelings and the disappointments or the aloneness feeling that I'm going to feel. And yet he's like, like I've come over here. Like I've got another possibility,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny as you're describing that, what I feel like the Lord's bringing to my mind is how you were talking to yourself saying, "You're good, you're strong, you're brave." And he's like, that, like, let me do that part. I want to affirm you. You don't need to do that. You don't even need to do that part.
Mhm. Hmm.
And if you were to give even that, like that version of alone and self, and I have to even encourage myself, he's like, no, let me do that too. I want
Hmm.
that part even.
Hmm.
And so let's just do that. Like, if you're willing, just hand him, again, with as much faith, it doesn't take like it's going to be a practice and a walking this out, but for today, just kind of check your heart. Is your heart open to actually giving a little bit of trust and a little bit of this over to him
Hmm.
and let
Yeah.
him yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, that's something I've been practicing of like, but it's interesting. I feel like you're making a distinction there of like kind of like the self effort or the self talk, and like I've heard him say like I've heard him rename me like on that playground of like, you are strong and capable, like and so which completely transforms how I step onto that playground, and so like
Yeah.
yeah, I do give that to him, and I think maybe what you're inviting me into is just like a yeah, you can let go of the weight of having to muster up like self-talk, and you can keep coming back to him to let him rename you and re interpret the situations,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And so in addition, just Lord, what else? And as Seth gives this over to you, would you show him also what do you want to give him in exchange
Mm,
for the alone, for the scurry, that feeling of anxiousness? What do you want to give him in exchange?
mm. It's interesting because this question, like what I want is like a easy access, quick response. Like you're right there, Jesus, and I think that's in line with what he wants to give me too, of like this, like you have access to that hall moment at any time. Like I'm always there, like I guess I'm like, is it too much to ask? Is it too good to be true to be expecting Jesus to be on call like that at any moment,
Mm. Yeah, what do you want Seth to know about that? It's a good question.
Oh man, yeah, we're sitting under the trees, and he takes his hands off of his knees as we're sitting cross-legged. And he's like, yeah, man, like that's the offering, like that's the relationship I want to have with you, man. Like,
Mm. That's the thing. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Not like you're so dense, but just kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been trying to tell
Yeah, I get it. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, well, and it's a beautiful picture. Like I was gonna say, can the Lord like symbolize it for you? But it feels like a pretty good symbol of like,
Yeah.
yeah. And and so just receive, like open your heart to that and just if you're willing, just accept it. That's it. That's
Mhm.
all that's what he's requiring of you. Just accept that that's what I want. That's the offer.
Mm. Yeah, I receive it.
Mm.
It actually might, there's an evolution of full faith to receive it, but yeah, like I received the seed, like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. Yeah. And so even coming forward with this seed of faith and this knowledge, this truth of being and connectedness, again, what we were talking about earlier, if we show up even in fostering in a false identity, separated, there's not enough, I'm all alone,
Mm.
versus no, what if you were to foster and show up in this moment connected with this truth and the truth of who he's, all the things he said about
Mm.
you, just in the truth of who you are, Seth. Jesus, would you show Seth what is it that you want him to now see about this situation, this current situation?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure it's like, hey, you don't have to be afraid. Like, I'm with you at every turn. Like, there are unknowns in this journey. Like, there's things you can't control. Um, yeah. It's almost like the situation doesn't change, but you still have access. You have way more access than maybe you thought, to respite and to
Yeah.
like there's way more access for all the emotion that's coming up.
Yeah. And what part of Seth's identity that you've revealed to him, Jesus, do you want him to step into this? Because Seth's identity is going to be a gift in this situation, but what part of
Hmm.
it?
Hmm. Oh man. Hmm. That's a good question. It's funny because right before you said that, I was really distracted by like the pressure of making a decision on like when you get a call like that. And I'm like, well, what about there, Jesus? Like, how do we make the call? And like that pressure wanted to jump in and I love you're like, before we get there, like what's the identity you want to bring into this? Or what's the identity that Jesus is inviting you to bring? I think like uh so what I'm picturing is like saying yes and all the challenges are there, right? But instead of fear, I have this unique identity that Jesus is inviting me into. I don't know, man. If there's like the word that keeps coming to my mind is just like it's almost like the redeemed version of the beauty that I want to create and what I'm seeing out in the canyon, like my version of it, like he's actually inviting me, almost like giving me the keys again to create beauty, even though I tend to be miserly and like,
Yeah.
entitled to it. Like, but it's almost like I want to give it back to you and invite you to just bring beauty back into the space.
Mm, mm. And, and and always, and I mean, this was true for me when I realized like someone else has a gift for me in their true identity. Like if you were the one,
Yeah.
what gift does
Mm,
bring in his true identity to Seth and their whole
mm,
family?
mm.
You want him to know about him.
Wow. Yeah, I'm having trouble believing this, but like I just feel like he's actually going to deliver a beauty that you've never
Mm.
encountered before, like that you've never tasted or like it's gonna open up a portal of beauty that you haven't experienced.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm a little like, I don't know if I want that, but it's like
Mm.
you kind of like you don't know until you unwrap the gift, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And just this word promise, what's your promise for Seth? Again, you're not demanding this of him, but it's like, no, there is a beauty that will come with him that will surprise you if you were to say yes.
mm,
But let me give you this promise too. Here's this promise.
mm. Dude, it's crazy. I can feel that anxiety like wanting to come up again, like and hmm. It's almost like the promise is like, I will never leave you or forsake you. Like I will be with you. I'm kind of like, really?
Yeah.
It's like like, I've been there before when the disappointment's there or the emotions are raging or the hardship and I feel alone, So it's a little bit like, okay, I hear you saying it,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
but like, can I run with that, is maybe like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there may be some more like work around just going back to those moments where you felt that disappointment and
Yeah.
letting the Lord sit with you in that. There's maybe grief in it. There might be a lot of things in that.
Mm.
What's coming to my mind, and it's funny because it was even before we got on this call, I was thinking back to when with my own kids, the nurse brought them out as a newborn and set them in the car, and then they just walked away, and it was like, okay, go take care of them. And the terror I felt in that moment, and still feel as a parent, the just the anxiety that my kids can still bring to me, my want for their protection, my want for all sorts of things around that. It's like, and there's such beauty in it. There have been, and I have experience with it, but I distinctly remember with each one of them the fear of those moments. And it's like, had I just left him at the hospital, then I wouldn't have experienced all the stuff that came after. But uh,
Yeah, that's good. You know what it is, man? Like it's like if let's say it was just like this whatever perfect kid, just like all my kids, there's no issues, no trauma, no, I mean, of course my kids probably have trauma, but
yeah.
like I'd be like, sweet, game on, let's rock. But there's something about this, like it's like a next level of the video game of like
Mhm.
we have a friend who, their kid has all kinds of developmental challenges, and it's gnarly watching their life, And so it's like that's really a disruption of the beauty that I've created or that I've imagined, And so
Yeah.
it's like I guess the promise is really just around like, promise is like I can work in that too, like
Yeah.
can you trust me here too? Like I promise I can work in it too, and there's definitely a leap of faith and an adventure there that's like very uncharted and very counter to my idealized, entitled vision of beauty and shalom and peace and Eden and all the things. And like, yeah, like, can you trust me here too? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's good.
Well, and then there's a question that we haven't asked, which is just simply like, is this what you have for Seth and his family, the Schmidts? Are you asking them to do this with these promises, with the I will be with you? But is this even what you're asking them to do?
Mm. Yeah, man, I don't get the sense that it is, like, to be honest, like it doesn't, I don't know that this might be like self-induced pressure, versus like
Yeah.
this opening and this real big heart posture for the and maybe it's still the same scenario, but maybe it's not. I don't know that. Yeah, it feels a little bit more like self-induced, like like
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
did I give you this, or is this something you put on,
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What what the Lord will do often for us is allow something like this to show us what's going on in our heart, which is, important to know that there's this. But we had this phrase on our team, but do only what the Lord requires and nothing else actually.
Mm,
And so just being real sure that this is what he's inviting you into. There's going to be pressure there. It's almost like the poor you will always have with you. And I love them. We know that
mm,
intellectually, and probably I can even just think of him and I can just feel God's heart for him. But is this what he has for your family? And and if not, then okay. But you do need to be aware of what's present in your heart
mm,
and not moving forward till you have a real peace about it and a joy, because it's going to be that, not the shoulds. You're right. Like, don't move forward in feeling like I should.
mm,
I think of Mother Teresa, just her ability to love people that actually other people were just like, how do you do this? And
mm,
the Lord gave her a grace and a mercy for it.
mm, mm. Dang, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And I know what that feels like to be like, yeah, like I can't believe you're saying yes to this, and you're like, yeah, I'm saying yes to this because my heart is
Yeah.
open and wanting and excited and
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Well,
Mm,
Lord, just as we close out this time, what do you want, Seth, to really take away from this?
mm. Wow. Yeah, I just heard him say like before he even finished the question was just like I am here and I will help and like basically like I will help you make decisions like this. Like I will be right with you in the midst
Mhm.
of these decisions and um almost like test me on it, man. Like let's
Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
it. Like come on. Like we can
Right.
make decisions like this together, which I think was my what I felt welling up in me of like, well, I don't think I can make this, but he's just like, no, dude, we can do this together. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Good.
it's
Well,
good.
check in with your, how are you feeling then right now?
Mm, yeah, I just feel like de-weighted a bit from the pressure. And then also like, yeah, like I have this new frontier of connection and ability to bring hard things to him and not feel like I'm gonna go back into that afraid, scared, it's all up to me space. It's like, no, like we can do this together. So I feel like resourced again. Like hope has come back into the relationship in this sector of like how do you
Yeah.
that's been the cry of my heart for the last year has just been like I've gotten decently skilled in the how to pull myself out of kind of some of the stuff we've done together, but then it's like well, how do you go make decisions and how do you go co-create and how do you like that part of it is like the next frontier,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. And that's the practice. Like Jamie always used to tell us like it bothered him for years that people would hear their true identity and then go back, and within weeks it was like, no, they haven't actually moved forward at all. And it was the whole disconnection piece of things. They were trying to walk out their true identity disconnected though.
Mhm. Yeah.
In again, in their strength, it's like, okay, this is what you've said about me, God. This is true. What you've said about me, but still the motivation was not from the spirit and in the spirit. It was disconnected in their own strength and power. And it was like, oh, that's what the connected worldview is. It is the with part of it.
Mm,
You are truly your identity connected to him and in him and with him.
mm,
And And so it's like you get that phone call. You're not taking that phone call by yourself. You are taking that phone call with Jesus, and it's a three-way conversation now. It's like, is this the kid? Is this the one? Should we move forward with this? And what do you want me to know? And uh, like that becomes the new practice and habit in those moments. And just taking a pause, even if it's like, I don't know, I feel really stirred up right now, then just pause, take a beat in that moment and move in peace, move forward in peace and enjoy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you were talking about the how, like how the how to's. That feels like a new how to for me of like in the like moment stuff, like so that's really good of just like, all right, Jesus is here too right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, what's he saying? That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, thanks, Chris. That was awesome.
Yeah. Totally my pleasure, man.
I appreciate you so
Good
much.
seeing you and good
Yeah,
being with you.
definitely appreciate you. And yeah, we can end it there. That's awesome.
I bet you're tired. I know that's always the thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Good.
it's so good. So we'll talk again, and I thank you so much for this whole net space. That was really good. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
man. Really is a joy to be with you. And I'll keep praying for you. Those are big decisions.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's right there with us. Yeah.
And he's right. And he's right there with you. That's right.
Good.
All right, brother.
Cool, bro. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. See
All
you.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.